Welcome. I'm Dr. J.P. Amante. This is the Holistic Research Academy, and in this video, we're going to stop that cramp. Let's take a look at muscular anatomy. We're going to go through the essentials of what causes cramps and simple things we can do about them, and 3 effective techniques to release spasms and cramps naturally. The most essential understanding about your muscles is as they contract, muscle tissue shortens. And so if you've been using your muscles a lot or you keep it shortened in the same position for a long period of time and then try to lengthen or stretch it, and especially if you do it very quickly, this is the recipe to cause a muscle to go into cramp or spasm, especially when you bring muscles to threshold by working them out. And when they approach that, they're going to tend to start to have that little twitch, what's called fasciculations. Repeat after me. Muscle fasciculations is when you get those subtle little twitches. And if they keep having to contract and the demand is continually placed upon them, eventually they're going to go into a full cramp or being locked up. I know, I've had this happen to me plenty of times. So here are the most effective things that I've found personally to stop those cramps and release that tension naturally. The main ingredients your muscles need is number 1, water. So definitely check your hydration levels because that can also predispose you to cramps and other things like fatigue, headaches, and general body ache and soreness. The next one are the minerals calcium and magnesium. Now, calcium is required to bind to the muscles to help them to relax. So you can take these supplements or you can apply things like Epsom salts or magnesium creams and lotions or any good massage oil to work into muscles that tend to cramp or go into spasm would be very well and wise. So you can check out the link below for great natural holistic products. If you're looking for massage oils or magnesium creams or lotions, or let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite things to apply to help muscles relax naturally. Now, we also know that the nerves and the muscles both together require electrolytes. And electrolytes were named because they were the essential things required for the electrical impulses to happen in your nerves. These would be things like sodium, potassium, and many other minerals too that are required for that muscle contraction to take place. This is why athletes, runners, and any endurance sports will usually use gels and these things to keep electrolytes in the body. So if your electrolytes start getting low, you can take supplements, you can take electrolyte gels, drinks, powders, etc. Again, let me know what are some of your favorite electrolyte things, and especially the ones that are not processed and have a lot of things in them. So natural sources of electrolytes you can do is simply lemon. You can take a fresh organic lemon, squeeze it in water, and drink that. Good source of electrolytes. You can always add a pinch of salt as well. Usually the combination there will give you the essential ingredients you need. So when it comes to stopping that cramp, here are 3 effective techniques you can use. First and foremost is reciprocal inhibition. Now say it with me. Reciprocal inhibition means when you contract a muscle, the opposite or opposing muscle has to be relaxed and inhibited. You see, all of the cramps and spasms ultimately are coming from signals in your brain. So if you can develop your awareness and consciously bring your attention to any area of the body, just by breathing into it, focusing on it, you can consciously get it to relax and slowly release. However, if you contract one side of your muscle group, your brain tells the opposite side to relax and lengthen. So therefore, anytime you have a cramp or a spasm, the first thing you can do is put gentle, steady pressure on it and then contract the opposite muscle against a little bit of resistance. And what I mean is this. Let's say, for example, your calf muscles go into a spasm or a cramp. I'll take my other foot, place my heel on top of my foot, and I'll press my foot up into my heel. And by contracting the front of your leg, it's going to inhibit the back of your leg. Now, this isn't an instant release valve, folks, so you have to give it a few seconds and breathe into it. So the next time your calf muscles go into a cramp or a spasm, first just relax your toes down using your hand or your opposite foot. Press up gently and steadily, and you'll find that the more you contract and press, the more it's going to inhibit that area. And usually it takes a few cycles, but eventually that cramp or that calf spasm will eventually subside and release. Now, if you have a cramp in one part of your body, usually it's that muscle or that area. But if you start having multiple cramps in multiple parts of the body, please get checked out by a physician, especially if it starts getting worse, accompanied with dizziness and other things. Because when you have cramps happening all around the body, it usually indicates something either nutritional or systemic is going on. Now, the next technique is simply the contract and relax method, which means if you're having any cramp or spasm, what you do is breathe into the area and you actively stiffen, tighten, and contract it. So say, for example, if it's the bottom of your foot, what I'll do is breathing in nice and deep, I'll actually contract my toes or the muscles that are involved and squeeze them really tight. And I'll hold this for about 5 to 10 seconds, and as I exhale, start to relax. Now, as you relax and you lengthen or try to stretch any muscle that's in a cramp, it's usually going to have that twitch, fasciculation. It can even go back into a cramp. And that's okay. First, put yourself in a safe, comfortable place, but then continue to contract the muscle and hold it until that cramp starts to subside and let up. So again, you contract the area that's in spasm for 5 to 10 seconds by focusing on your breath, especially if you breathe in and hold the breath while you contract, and then as you exhale, focus on relaxing and gently lengthening that muscle back out. So even if it's in your neck, like I've gotten this one a few times, when the neck muscle contracts, I'll tighten and stiffen the area up as I breathe in. And then as I exhale, I slowly relax and slowly lengthen. And if it continues to cramp right where it does, inhale, hold, tighten, and stiffen, and slowly begin to stretch it out. Because ultimately, what you want to do is to gently stretch and release out any muscle that's in a cramp or a spasm state. All right, the third technique is a trigger point release. And so cramps and spasms can happen anywhere in the body. So if you can pinpoint, identify the area, shorten and relax the muscle, keeping gentle and steady pressure on it. It takes about 90 seconds, maybe a couple minutes, but eventually that trigger point will begin to relax. So a trigger point is simply any muscle that's gotten so tight where it starts to literally press on one of the nerves going between the muscle fibers. And you know it's a trigger point because it's really tender and will actually travel to another area of the body called a pain referral pattern. And so the other day, had one in the abdomen just as I was rotating and turning. So for example, if you have one, let's say in the chest wall, that area, you put your finger on it, keeping gentle, steady pressure, and you relax by simply bringing the ends of the muscle together. So for the abdomen, you can gently come forward and we can hold and gently vibrate, or just think about just gently hold, shorten, and wiggle the muscle, breathing in and out through it. And you want to give about 90 seconds or up to 2 minutes on average until you feel the area begin to just relax and soften a little bit. Same thing if it happens in your neck. Find the area of spasm, identify the trigger point, and you can relax the neck, bring it to the side, a little bit of vibration, hold until you feel it soften, and it feels like it's just gradually melting, like ice cubes on hot cement, and as that muscle just melts, you'll feel that trigger point begin to release and soften, and then very slowly unwind the area. So if it happens in the abdomen, find the particular area, hold until you feel it soften, and then gradually, very slowly bring it back. Because remember, typically it's sudden and very quick movements that will cause the muscle to guard, spasm, and go into that cramp. There's another little nifty technique for bonus, and that is any cramp that happens, you can use your diaphragm. It's called the Valsalva's maneuver, where you take a deep breath in, hold your breath, and you squeeze, contract your diaphragm as if you're doing a bowel movement. But as you hold and increase that pressure, it takes about 5, 10, sometimes about 15 seconds, but that increase in pressure helps to inhibit or release any cramp in the body. And so if it's in your shoulder, shorten the muscle, hold that area about 1.5 minutes or so. If it's in your hip, same thing. Identify the area involved, hold with gentle, steady pressure, shorten the muscle, or simply put it in a comfortable position. Then hold that area with a little bit of vibration. You can just jiggle and wiggle the muscle until it starts to relax and slowly melt. And then very slowly, whichever part of the body it is, bring it back to a comfortable, relaxed position. And then of course, one of the best things for your muscles is massage. You can do self-massage by getting a good therapeutic oil, or book a therapeutic massage by a recommended therapist. A professional licensed therapist will know exactly how to work those muscles to prevent cramps and spasms, or if you're having them repeatedly, to get into those muscle fibers, break them up, release them, and let them go. So there you have 3 effective ways to stop that cramp. Please check out my other videos, and if you want more information on natural holistic healthcare, go to hhcare.org, that's hhcare.org. Thank you very much. May the health be with you.